So good afternoon. I am Shelia with Military Veteran Peer Network. My partner, co-worker Natalie is currently at the Veterans Caregiver Summit. So I'll be covering down for both of us here. So first, like always, before we introduce our guests, I want to go ahead and talk about our programs. So with the Military Veteran Peer Network, what we do is one-on-one peer support. We coordinate peer support groups. We currently have, I think, 6 active groups. We have Haven, which is harassment, assault, violence ends now. It's for survivors of sexual assault, sexual harassment. We have Open Doors, which is for the LGBTQ plus community. We have The Other Side, which is for spouses, significant others of veterans and service members. Pathfinders, which is for service members and veterans. And Right Answers, which is for which is a journaling group, which is pretty much open to anybody, as well as Yarnaholics, which teaches you a hobby, and that's also open to anybody. We also do a variety of trainings with suicide prevention and awareness. We have Ask About Suicide to Save a Life, Calm, Counseling on Access to Lethal Means, and then we collaborate with the VA to do SAVE training, which is suicide awareness in regards to veterans. And we also do mental health first aid for both adult and youth. Both classes are for adults, but it teaches you to recognize mental illness in youths and adults. We also do community resources. So if there's pretty much anything you need in the community, we're able to assist you. Instead of you driving everywhere, kind of stressing out, give us a call. We can help narrow down that search, whether it be about employment, counseling, rental assistance, housing insecurities, food insecurities, whatever, we can assist you. As far as the Veterans One-Stop Center, what they do is free counseling services. And I won't get too much into it because I'll let Jonathan and Hazael talk about that. But we do have other agencies housed with us. We have the VBA, Veteran Business Association. So if you're trying to start a business or you have questions about it, they can get you taken care of. We have an education department with Grand Canyon University and Western Governors University. And the good thing about them is they'll answer pretty much any questions you have in regards to, post 9/11, starting your school journey, and it doesn't have to actually pertain to those schools. We have Texas Veterans Commission Claims Department who can help you, filing claims or raising your claims, whatever questions you have pertaining to that. And then, of course, we're housed here with MVPN. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jonathan Bohannon, who's the director for Veterans One Stop Center, and Hazael Leanos, who is the office coordinator. Thank you for being our guest today.
Well, thank you for having me. As stated before, I'm Jonathan Bohannon, the program director for the Veterans One Stop. And essentially, the Veterans One Stop Center provides access to community-based mental and behavioral health services to El Paso veterans, active duty service members, and each of their families. So basically, we offer free counseling services, case management services, and we also have limited availability of rental utility assistance. So, just come on by and check us out. And as Shelia stated earlier, we have a lot of partners here. So whether you're just getting out of the military or you've been out for 20 years and you're thinking about starting a claim or getting into services, we'll meet you where you're at. And that's pretty much it. There is no barrier into services as long as you served. And if you have a DD-214, that's great. If you have a picture that you were in uniform proving that you're in service, that's how far our flexibility extends to. And keeping it short and sweet, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Hazael Leanos, our office coordinator, to expound upon our eligibility.
Hi, so for eligibility, it's just a VA ID or military ID or DD-214. If you're a dependent, you also need your ID, Texas ID, just proof of residency in El Paso, Texas, and we can get you in within the week. Every Wednesday we have intakes. So that's how easy and how fast we can get you in search of services.
So question, I know you said Texas ID or proof of eligibility. So if they have a Texas driver license, do they have to bring in proof of residency, or is that good enough?
Yeah, that's good enough because on the Texas ID they have their own address, so it's proof of residency in El Paso, Texas.
All right. So if they don't, like if they stay on post or something like that, then they need to bring utility bill or?
Yes, unless you're active duty, just with your military ID, you will be fine.
Okay, so only for those that are not active duty, do they need to provide
Correct.
additional resources? Okay,
Correct.
and you say you typically get people in within a week, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So is that every Wednesday the only time they do intakes, or do y'all see people outside of the Wednesday?
So every Wednesday is for intakes, and now if you want to talk to someone, we have here the case management can take. I'll talk about the basics, or we have a MVPN, a peer support they can talk to.
All right. Before I let you go, John, I just want to clarify. So you said that you'll see anybody regardless of discharge status, correct?
That is correct.
All right, and that's all service members, including National Guard and reserves?
Yes, including National Guards and Reserve, and also, we do accept children, 6 and older. We do accept anyone that veteran and or active service member defines as family. So if you have a friend who's, lifelong friend who's, that it's detrimental to the well-being of that veteran or active duty service member, then under that criteria, we would classify that a family member. So, wherever they meet us, whether it's through MVPN, through our peer services, or a group, like our groups out on Thursdays, which would be Pathfinders at 7, and then in conjunction with the other side for the family member. However it is, they get caught up into our services. It is free, and the hardest part is deciding when to start. So we try to make it as easy as possible. So, and I'll guarantee if MVPN brings them into services, they're going to get in, for what it's worth. But
so another question, you were talking about family and stuff. So what about surviving spouses? As long as they have documentation, they can still get seen here, even though the veteran has passed?
yes, absolutely. And I just had a conversation not too long ago about how many barriers there are for retirees and their families to get help, and the one stop could be a one solution before they get set up in the community, if they need to get into any type of services. And if we don't provide that service here, like medication management, we can always refer within the EHN umbrella to like our West Side clinic. And that's just to get them started right away into services. And if they choose to go somewhere else after that, that's up to them.
All right. And I think I have one more question, again, pertaining to family. Is there a maximum age in which they can be seen, or would you see like older dependents, like in their 40s or whatever, the parents served and, now they're like, okay, I need mental health services. Are you able to support that since they are affiliated with the military, even though they're above 18, I guess you could say?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The only time it gets kind of, well, this is probably not connected to that question, but the only time it can get kind of like, blurry is whenever, like if they're at the age of like dementia and things of that nature. But I mean, but yeah, 40, 50, 70, we don't discriminate.
Okay. No, it was great. Thank you. I know you're both busy. I really appreciate you taking time to go ahead and brief on the services that we offer here at the Veterans One Stop Center and Military Veteran Peer Network. And that's it. Thank you. Stay safe.
All right. Bye.
Bye.